What is up, guys? It's Doodoo Poker here, back for another video. Today we are going to be talking about how to play against a flop check raise in a single raise pot. Now, I will have data for all positions, but specifically the artificial intelligence data is for button versus big blind. But first I'm going to ask you a question. If I give you 6 boards, what board has the highest flop check raise frequency out of these 6 boards? Ace high, king high, queen high, jack high, low board, and paired board. Well, let's look at MDA by board type. We see here the flop check raise frequencies based on board type that the jack high board has the highest check raise frequency. Connected one gap is also 15%, but let's stick with jack high. Now, why is a jack high board check raised 50%? But a king high board only check raised 10%. Well, let's compare. What is the fundamental difference between a king high board and a jack high board? A jack high board always has a gut shot available. If you go through all the combinations, on any non-paired jack high board, there will always be at least a gut shot. This is not the same on a king high board, and people love to check raise gut shots. So, on like a jack 5-2 board or a jack 6-2 board, there's going to be a gut shot available, but on a king high board like king 8-2 or king 7-2, this will not be available. This is one of the factors that increases the check raise frequency on a jack high board. We also have to look at the other 2 cards. They are very important. The second and third card and how they interact will increase or decrease frequencies. Let's look at some artificial intelligence data. Let's imagine a jack high board. Let's say it's jack x3. The x can be anything from 10 all the way down to 4. Look at what changes. The x at 10 check raises only 11%, but if you put it down to 4 and it's a jack 4-3 board instead of a jack 10-3 board, the check raise frequency goes all the way up to 14%. So this is another trend we see in MDA and artificial intelligence. When the 2 cards are lower, the check raise frequency increases. And when the second card is higher, the check raise frequency decreases. This is very important to understand because we want to know how to exploit this spot. Let's look at artificial intelligence data for check raise frequencies. We see here on a jack 10-2 board, they're check raising around 16%, but only folding to a flop 3-bet 33% of the time. If I change this jack 10-2 board to a jack 4-2 board, the check raise frequency increases, but the fold to flop 3-bet increases by 15%. This is huge. This is what you need to do against the jack low check raises. So what we do is we start 3-betting flops as an exploit because there is a 10 to 15% overfold. So what we do is against a jack 10-2 board, we don't 3-bet because they overcall, but against a jack 4-2 board, we 3-bet more because there is a huge overfold. So we know that when the 2 low cards are connected, the check raise frequency increases. But when the second card is higher, the check raise frequency decreases. We also know that a king high board is only going to be check raised 10%, but a jack high board is check raised 15%. So this is very important to know when exploiting the check raise because a 3-bet on the flop, although most people don't do this, is a great exploit against the jack low boards or the king low boards. When the 2 cards are low, we increase our 3-bet frequency on the flop, and when the second card is high, we don't do this now. Also, other notes is button versus big blind 8-8X boards have the highest check raise frequency. They check raise 20% of the time. And QQX boards have the highest fold to flop 3-bet percentage. It's important to know when exploiting the check raise what the fold to flop 3-bet percentage is. Population is also check raising flush draw boards more than rainbow boards, even though theory does the opposite. Theory will check raise a flush draw board more than rainbow, but population does not do this. Let's go to another analysis that I did. What I did is I compared a king high rainbow board versus a king high two-tone board. Now the parameters are betting 25% on the flop, check raising 50%, which is around 4x sizing, and the 3-bet is 2.5x sizing. What do you guys notice? You notice that on the two-tone board, the check raise frequency is higher, but in theory, it's the opposite. It should be higher on a rainbow board. So what we do is we attack the rainbow board with the 3-bet on the flop, but we do not attack the two-tone board with a 3-bet on the flop. This is another exploit we can use against the flop check raise. So let's summarize. We learned that when going through all the different board types, the jack high board is the highest frequency check raise board, as we see from MDA and also artificial intelligence, 15% overall, and the king high board is only 10%. We also know that the two cards are very important. When the second card is high, they check raise less and fold less to a flop 3-bet, and when the second card is low, they check raise more and fold more to a 3-bet. Okay, I know that was a lot to take in, but it's very important because poker is very nuanced and specific. We need to look at the exact board texture. We know jack low low will check raise more than jack high low. So a jack 5-2 rainbow board will check raise more than a jack 9-2 rainbow board. If you enjoy this type of content, please give me a like, please give me a subscribe. New video every single day, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.